everyone knows that dating really sucks because number one, you can't just be yourself. You've got to sell yourself. And number two, selling yourself is hard when you compare yourself to all the other women out there. Number three, you end up feeling worse about yourself than if you had never even put yourself out there in the first place. And number four, your self-esteem rises and falls based on how much attention you're getting, even though you know that you should never give men power over you. Number five, you waste so much time on those online dating sites, time that you could be spending on things that you actually enjoy. And number six, what are the results? You get all of these messages from creeps. You never hear from the guys you really want to hear from. And the occasional nice guy turns out to be a dud. So number seven, you just end up on this roller coaster of getting excited, getting disappointed, getting excited, getting disappointed until you just finally cannot take it anymore. Do you know what I'm talking about? If so, give it a thumbs up. Okay, so dating sucks, but what can we do to change it? Hi, I'm Amy Waterman. I am a love expert here at yourbrilliance.com. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a tool that can help make finding love fun. If you practice this tool that I'm about to give you, you will get off that disappointment roller coaster. Your self-esteem will be bulletproof, and those first dates will actually feel enjoyable. So researchers have discovered that there are two types of motivation. So two ways that we motivate ourselves to do things. We can use intrinsic motivation or extrinsic motivation. So let's take exercise as an example. You want to exercise more, but you know that it's going to mean finding a lot more time and energy. You like the idea of exercising, right? You're going to get toned, you're going to get fit. You're going to be able to brag that you go to the gym every day, but the reality of it is not quite as appealing. So how do you motivate yourself to give up an hour of relaxation time just so that you can sweat and suffer? Some people motivate themselves by imagining how good they'll look in short shorts, or how much weight's going to drop off, or how much their friends will envy them as they post those workout shots on social media. And other people motivate themselves by thinking about how bad their health might get if they don't do it, or how much they hate their body, or how bad they feel sitting at home when they know they should be exercising. So all of those are extrinsic forms of motivation. You're making yourself work out because you want the reward at the end, or you want to avoid the punishment that you'll experience if you don't do it. Now, this is the most common way we motivate ourselves to do things that we don't want to do. We say things like, if I work out every day for a week, I'm going to splurge on a new pair of shoes. Or we post our fitness goals on social media so that it will be really embarrassing if we fail to meet them. Now, this type of motivation is actually recommended by fitness experts, which upsets me because what they're doing is they're using shame and reward to temporarily change behavior, because you can't keep that up forever. Once you get your reward, you'll have to think of a different reward and then a different reward. And the fear of embarrassment or putting on weight is only going to motivate you for so long. There is a lot of research out there showing that extrinsic motivation is not dependable to create lasting change. So what can? Intrinsic motivation. If there is something that you want to do, some new habit that you want to form, or a long-term goal that's going to take you years to accomplish, then intrinsic motivation is the very best way to do it. So intrinsic motivation is when you are motivated from the inside. You're doing this thing because of the personal satisfaction it brings you. You don't need to get anything out of it. You're just doing it for its own sake. A great example is your favorite hobby. For example, I enjoy baking, and baking takes a lot of time and it seriously messes up the kitchen. And sometimes I spend all this time making something that doesn't even taste very good at the end. But I do it because, well, I don't know why. It's interesting, it's challenging. I really like eating what I make. So intrinsic motivation is what drives people to become experts at something. It's the only thing that can sustain someone when things get tough, when things don't turn out as expected, and when it doesn't seem like there's going to be any hope of success. Kind of like dating. So if you're dating because you want the reward of a relationship, or the reward of male attention, or the reward of feeling good about yourself, you're going to run out of steam pretty fast. If you're dating because you don't want to be alone forever, or you don't want to be the only single person in your group of friends, or you don't want people hassling you about when you're going to get married, then you're going to run out of steam pretty fast. But if you're dating because you enjoy meeting new people, you enjoy discovering who they are, you find that whole dance of attraction to be amusing, then you can keep it up forever. But not that you'll need to, because people who are intrinsically motivated to date tend to get snapped up pretty fast. When you show up on a date expecting to enjoy the process and not really caring whether you end up with this guy, your whole demeanor changes. You're not putting any pressure on him to be who you want him to be. And you're not putting any pressure on yourself to say the right thing or act the right way. You're just enjoying the fact that you're not at home on a Friday night and you're having a drink with somebody you don't know yet. And you're getting to have an experience that at the very minimum will give you some good stories to tell the next day. Now, those of you who have read my book know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the pleasure principle in action. And it's why it's so effective in life and love. Because when something brings you pleasure, you can keep it up forever. Now, going back to the exercise example for a moment, sometimes I wonder why I've managed to keep up my running habit for 2 decades. Because I don't like going out to run when the weather's bad. And sometimes I find myself standing at the door and lacing up my shoes and thinking, what in the world am I doing? But I do it because it's just part of me. It's just what I do. I go for a jog every day, rain or shine, and it's built into my schedule. And, afterwards I get a hot shower and I'm done and I can relax. There's no stress with intrinsic motivation. There's nothing to achieve. You're not training for a goal. There's no pressure. You just show up, you do it, and you're glad you did it. What would happen if you treated dating the same way? It's just what you do. You show up, you do it, and at the end, you're always glad you did. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is you don't meet anyone. So find a reason to date that makes it personally satisfying to you. Maybe each date is an opportunity to get better at small talk. Maybe it's an opportunity to see inside someone else's world. Maybe it's an opportunity to get to try all these different coffee shops and restaurants. Just don't pin your hopes on getting some reward at the end. A very small percentage of first dates turn into lasting relationships. So there has to be another reason to do it, a reason that makes it meaningful to you. So what do you think would make dating personally meaningful? If it wasn't about getting a relationship at the end, what would it be about? If you've got an idea, share it with me in the comments. And if you'd like to know more about how to practice the pleasure principle in life and love, then go and grab my book and I will put the link below. See you next time.